Yeah, hello guys, Cloudie here checking in after a bit of an extended break, and this is gonna be the pretty much final video before we get into the truly endgame stuff, and this is gonna be about cards. Now, I'm a bit on the fence about cards because on one hand they are actually very much endgame, and they are one of the longest time consuming upgrades that you can get to your character. But on the other hand, you also start getting them pretty early in the game, so I kind of thought that we should start looking into them before we get into the really endgame stuff. So let's see how cards actually look like. Let's just really quickly zoom out so I can see what I'm doing. But let's see how you actually get them. Now, we don't have a card here, but let's just use one of these packs so we can see a card. Now, cards you will usually receive from either drops like guardian raids and whatnot. You can receive them from quests, from achievements, and they will always land in your inventory like this, except for a few cases where it will go to your universal storage. And this is a pro tip here right now. Check your universal storage every now and then. You see right now I have 2 here, so if you see the red dot marking it, then you should definitely check it. So now we have a bunch of cards here. What happens is, or how you actually learn your cards, and this will be learned for your entire roster, because you can see the card catalog here, is just by right-clicking. Now, if you already own the card, then you will get a text like this, that do you really want to add it, and if you already have the max enhancement level, then it will just be XP, so you just click OK. So now, since I already had that card, and you can see this one I also already have, then these are coming up like this. The Walton card I actually don't have yet, so I right click it and it just says it's being added to my card catalog. So usually it will be drops and stuff that goes directly into your inventory, but at other times it's worth checking out the universal storage. Now, other times, especially from events, you will be getting these random card packs. These can contain uncommon cards, these can contain rare cards, epic cards, and then there are packs that can contain either one of them. So like if I open this one, this is a bit better type because it only goes down to rare. There are those that go all the way to like green, I think, not common. Maybe it has common too, but I think only green. So you see, I didn't get anything from this, no legendary cards. There are, on the other hand, sometimes, I think we get sometimes random legendary packs that only have legendary cards. And then there are the selectors, the legendary card selectors. These are the biggest treasures. And I kind of wanted to talk about this first because some card sets have like only legendary cards and can be very powerful. So it's worth to keep these until you have like all the cards you need from randoms, and then you can just use the selectors to fill out your deck. But this is gonna take a very long time, and I'm talking more than a year at least, even if you are buying these decks from the shop. But okay, that's good enough for an intro. Let's actually look how the cards look like. So as said, they are roster bound, so you have them under your roster tab, and you can go here to your card catalog, where you will be seeing 3 tabs at the top. As you can see, you also have the option to assign different decks to different builds, and then you can switch between these depending on the preset that you are using, so that's good to know. Now you have equip, you have books, and you have enhance. And enhance tab is where we should be starting, because this is the one where you can see all the cards that you own. Now, at the start you won't have enough slots for them. Actually, you will need to buy these. They aren't terribly expensive. It costs like 50 blue crystals to increase, but you're gonna have to do this a couple times to own all the cards. And as I have mentioned, when you learn duplicate cards, then you will see these little numbers here, and these can go up all the way to plus 15. If you go to like the favorites, then you can see this is actually one of the card sets that I'm going to show you. One of the cards has gone all the way to 15, and this is needed to enhance the cards, which we are going to talk about in a little bit. For now, enough to know that this is the place where you can see all your cards, how you extend them, and this is also the place where we will be doing the enhancing. Enhancing is really simple. You just drag the card here, and you will need silver, and you will need card XP, which you get from some other stuff. I'm going to show you that really quick. These are also drops that you get, these kind of Soul Leaf, Eternity Essence, Creation Fragment, and Menelik Stone. These sometimes come from like achievements, maps, or cube drops, I think. Sometimes you can buy them from the shop, sometimes events give them. So that's the main source of card XP. And of course, if you have reached a certain level with your cards, then you can get them as an extra from the duplicate cards. Okay, so let's first and foremost go to the books from here. The books are basically card sets that are passive bonuses. So you can see, for instance, the Chengun tournament. I do not know how to pronounce it actually. So if you have like 10 cards from this set, then you get 5 strength, dexterity, and intelligence. And now, if you awaken them, so do this card enhancing to a certain amount, like, okay, plus 50, then it gives additional bonuses. You can see this is really, really low, like super min-maxy, like really this, this is such a low number and only versus certain things. And if you go through, you can get various tests like swiftness and then different bonuses versus undead. So this is extreme min-maxing and like the super last thing you're gonna do on your account. But it's worth to know that if you collect all these books or book sets, then you get base stats, which are nice, and then you can get some extra bonuses if you go ahead and awaken the cards themselves. But moving on, the equipment part is a lot more interesting. So the way it works is that we have here a bunch of different card sets, or card decks, which you can equip. And Light of Salvation, for instance, you can see if you hover over this set effect details, then the game will tell you, like, if you equip 2 of them, then you get dark damage reduction 10%. If you equip a 4 set, then you get an extra 10%, and if you equip a 6 set, then you get 10% more. So this is pretty good to reduce damage. But of course, if you are like playing a DPS, then you don't really want damage reduction. But then there is an extra line that if you have a 6 set of the deck equipped, and then you have 12 piece awakening, so 12 cards awakened, then you get an extra bonus which will increase or change your damage type, or actually that's for like 18 pieces. So you can get extra bonuses if you awaken the cards at 30% or 30 piece awakening, so like all cards equipped and awakened, you get like an extra 8% holy damage on top of the already there being 7%. So that's pretty nice, and then this plays well with some other decks. But yeah, for this you need to collect a lot of cards, which can be a pain, not gonna lie. One of the most popular decks is this one, the Lost Wind Cliff, mainly because if you have a 6 set and 12 piece awakening, you get 7% extra crit chance, and then if you get the full set awakened or the full deck, then your personal and party holy damage will increase by 3.5%, and this plays pretty well together with the Light of Salvation deck. Now you can see the Light of Salvation is fully legendary, so you need to, like, this is the one that takes like the longest time to get. You will need a lot of luck, you will need a lot of selectors, so yeah, good luck with that, guys. But if you are running this one and you are already doing holy damage, for instance, some of the end raid bosses are weak to holy damage, then this can be real nice. And if you have like a support that has this set to the full, awakened to the full, then that can be pretty nice as well. But yeah, good luck for that with that. So these two are perhaps the most well-known or most used sets. Some classes do not need the crit chance, and those have, I believe, this set, the 3 Umar families, which is a back attack focus set. This can be also pretty nice. Now this one only has 1 legendary card, and the others are like a rare, 2 rare cards actually. So you don't get to use legendaries. And some card packs can be used. Now it's worth mentioning card packs here. Some cards come in a pack, and sometimes you will get these pack selectors. A good example is the recently released Abyss Challenge Abyss dungeons, where at the end you can get these card pack selectors, and then if you select, say, for the Strong Courage card pack, then when you open that card pack box, then you have a chance to obtain this card. So that's one thing that people actually do now. They are trying to farm these, for instance, for the Umar families. But this again depends on your class. Maybe you don't rely on back attacks at all, or you do not need crit at all. It kind of depends which one you want to use. So that's the main thing about cards. One more thing to know which is good to mention, that some cards are being sold by vendoring merchants. And that's why all the people have these alerts going out for merchants. For instance, Seria, which I have at plus 15, I have her at plus 15 because I had this alert up and I would keep going to the vendoring merchant whenever he was selling this card, so I could buy it simply for silver. There is also in Annika as a vendor that will sell the Way card. It's really rare, it always happens at like the stupidest times, like 4 a.m. in the morning or something. So you can actually buy this one, and that's really good because you do not need to use selectors on him, but it's gonna take a long time to get that done. Now, so that's the gist of the cards, I think. One thing that I wanted to showcase is how much XP you actually need to put a card to plus 15. And for that, I've stored actually Seria. That's why I haven't really awakened any of my cards yet, because I wanted to see, and the record is for you guys, how long it actually takes to put a card to plus 5. So let's actually do that. So we have 790k XP, and it only goes to like 999. So that's why I wasn't using those items in the inventory that gives XP. And then we can see, so we are starting from 790, and we'll see how much we have left when we reach plus 5. So let's go. And you see, once this is done, okay, awakening. And then you see that we have this little marker here that shows that it's now plus 1. And then from 14, we're gonna do this again. Card can be awakened, yeah, boys. And you see that now we require 2 cards to gain 1 more rank, so let's do that. Slightly long animations, then we add the XP again. Dun. So now it needs 3 cards. And then this is 32k XP already. Awaken. Okay. And the last step. So you see, for the last step you need 5 identical cards to actually increase the rank. So let's just do that. And now she has reached the maximum level. So when I put her into my deck, she will count as a plus 5. So that's pretty nice. That should put me closer to the required rank, which is 12-piece awakening. But this is again only 5 from the 12 that we need. Now one thing to note is that, as you can see, I have different decks here. So I have 2 sets from one deck, farewell weapon, a 2 set from another deck, and then other deck. So you can mix and match them as you want, especially when you do not have all the cards for one set's awakening, so one of the better ones. But as you get those and you want to go for those really big boosts, then you kind of want to equip like the same deck. There are really a lot of bonuses. Some people use like run speed decks to run through places faster, and they just bind it to one of these decks and the character preset, and they have like swiftness gear and whatnot. That's the thing you can do. But yeah, the main use is really just to boost your performance, whether it's your own damage or the damage of your teammates or your survival, if you so choose. Most people, of course, go for damage if they are a DPS class. So yeah, guys, that's it all about cards. With this, we have kind of finished the pre-endgame stuff, even though this is really endgame, as I have mentioned. Moving on from here, we will be getting into the level 50 plus stuff, so guardian raids, honing, and so on and so on. If you have any questions or comments, then leave them in the comment section below. And this has been Cloudie for now. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and I forgot to check actually the card XP, which I said. So we started at 790 and ended up at 663. So you can see that it was like 130k to actually improve or enhance just one card, and you need a lot of them. So that's why those card XP items are really important too. So yeah, grab them whenever you can. But yeah, this has been Cloudie. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.